I hereby call to order this meeting of the Arizona Boxing and Mixed Martial Arts Commission. Today is Wednesday, September 21st, 2022, and the time is 11:06 a.m. Would those commissioners in attendance please identify themselves and state as to whether they're here via phone or Google Meets or in person?
This is Eric Feinstein. I'm here via Google Meets.
Thank you, Commissioner. And I'm Scott Fletcher. I am here via telephone. Commissioner Pennington is unable to join us today, so we're going to do it as a two-man band today, and I'll try and keep it timely, Commissioner. Item B is our new business. B1 is pursuant to ARS Sections 5-227, 5-228, and AAC R19-2-C604 for persons over the age of 36. The new license application submitted by Mr. Freddy Sandoval for a 2022 Professional MMA Athlete license. Mr. Vela, please speak to Mr. Sandoval's application.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. So Mr. Sandoval submitted all required documentation, and I attached for your review his record. He has quite a bit of experience in the professional realm. He's 5 and 6 as a pro. Now, what struck me is he is coming off of a couple of losses by TKO. That his last bout was in March of this year. Prior to that, he actually competed in 2009. So a big gap there. With that, my recommendation, I do recommend his approval on the contingency that I am able to review some footage of him, recent footage of him sparring, or something to ensure that he has the skills to compete.
Thank you, Mr. Vela. And your recommendation, do you have one?
Yes, sir. So as I said, I recommend his approval, but I would just like to review him in person to review his skills. Okay,
great. Commissioner Feinstein, thoughts or questions regarding Mr. Sandoval?
Yeah, so when was his last fight?
His last bout was in March of 2022.
March, sorry, I didn't build up.
I'm sorry, what was that?
When was his last bout? I didn't build up.
Oh, March of 2022.
Okay. Yeah, I think, given the circumstances of the outcome of his last bouts and age, I think in the layoff, I would agree that I would like for you to see him work out and see at least some video sparring before I'd be willing to make a decision on that.
Okay.
Commissioner Feinstein, we're having some trouble with your microphones. Do you mind trying to connect with a different device?
Yeah, I will try a different device. Sure.
Thank you.
Mr. Vela, Mr. Sandoval is hoping to fight on November 4th. Is that correct? At Freedom Fight Night 3?
That is correct. Yes, sir.
Okay. And the card you're talking about in March was Bellator 276, right?
Correct.
Okay. He was knocked out there. Just
And
trying
I will note that Chairman, I will note that the opponent that they have him matched up with for Freedom Fight Night is a jiu-jitsu guy. He's a big grappling person. He has been very successful in that realm, but he has not yet had any MMA regulated MMA bouts contests yet. So that may work in Mr. Sandoval's favor and kind of balance out the bout, which is why I'm allowing that bout. But just for all intents and purposes, I think it's safe that we just review his skill set, and he is on the line. If you'd like to ask him any questions, he can speak for himself.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Vela. Commissioner Feinstein, are you still with us?
I am. Can you hear me? Can you hear me better?
Oh yeah, you're way better. Yeah, thank you. It sounds like we don't have an appetite right now to move forward without you, Mr. Vela, spending some time with Mr. Sandoval. Is this something we can table? It looks like we have time if it's November 4th that he's trying to get licensed for.
Yes, sir. I believe you need a motion to do so, but we can absolutely table that.
Very good. The chair would be open to a motion if there is one.
So I move that pursuant to ARS 5-227, 5-228, and AAC R19-2-C604, that we table the proposal for a new license application for Mr. Freddy Sandoval for a 2022 professional MMA athlete license until Mr. Vela has an opportunity to evaluate his skill set.
Perfect. Thank you, Commissioner. I'm going to second that motion. We now have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 2-0. More to come, Mr. Sandoval. We'll get this sorted out. Mr. Vela, please make it a priority to get out and see him, and don't want to hold them up anymore if they're still in the position to go forward with November 4th.
Absolutely.
Let's press on. Okay. B2 is also pursuant to ARS sections 5-227, 228, and AAC R19-2-C604 for persons over the age of 36. The new license application submitted by Mr. Muhammad Wada for a 2022 Amateur MMA athlete's license. Mr. Vela, can you speak to Mr. Wada's application, please?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Wada is healthy. He is actually a new licensee. It's going to be his first amateur MMA bout. He's scheduled to box on to fight on the Rise of the Prospects card. And so far, I was able to get some information on his training regimen and kind of some of his experience and background. So he let me know that his training sessions are usually 1 to 2 hours, and he trains 6 days a week. And his training consists of mitt work, sparring, and technical boxing sessions, as well as on Wednesdays he does wrestling, and Thursdays he breaks it down with some other sparring and focuses on his grappling and BJJ. And then Saturdays he does 3 hours of working out. The first 2 hours is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, open mat, and submission, and technical boxing to wrap it up. He let me know that he does feel nervous about his upcoming bout, but he thinks that that's normal, and that if he didn't feel anything, it would mean that he didn't care enough. In the last thing that he had mentioned was that he did strain his LCL in April. It happened during sparring. His knee twisted as someone was taking him down. He said he took some time off of sparring and resumed in July. So he claims that he's now fit to compete, and his medicals do reflect that. So.
Perfect. Mr. Vela, do you have a recommendation in his regard?
Yes, sir. My recommendation is that we approve Mr. Muhammad Wada for an amateur MMA license.
Thank you. Commissioner Feinstein, thoughts, questions?
Yeah, my question, I guess, for Mr. Wada would be just why undertake this at this age and at this point in his life and career?
Let me verify that Mr. Wada is on the line with us here. 1 second, Commissioner. It does not appear that he is. I can reach out to him for you.
Yeah, not a critical question, but it is, it is a little unusual for somebody at this age to have their first bout. So I'm just a little bit curious about that.
Absolutely.
No, I agree. I agree. Although it sounds like he's fit and ready to go, it is an amateur license, but perhaps it's the day of tabling applications. If we're not ready to move forward, maybe we table Mr. Wada and try and get him on the phone. Mr. Vela, how do you feel about this?
Mr. Chairman, we certainly could do that. He is also, obviously not scheduled to fight until November, so that may be necessary as well.
I mean, I'm comfortable with the motion.
Yeah.
My question is just more inquisitive than I think essential to the process. So if Mr. Bella feels that he's ready, and again, this is an amateur license and amateur rules, so I think I'd be comfortable to make a motion.
Okay, then please do if you would.
So pursuant to ARS 5-227 and 5-228 and AAC R19-2C604 for persons over the age of 36-year-old, I move that we approve the new license application for Mr. Muhammad Wada for a 2022 amateur MMA athlete license.
Thank you, Commissioner. We have a motion, which I will second. We now have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 2-0. Congratulations, Mr. Wada. Look forward to November 5th. Let's press on. C is our old business. C1 is our review of AZ SANDA. Mr. Villa.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. So obviously, bouncing back from our last meeting, Arizona SANDA, we had some questions about some complaints that we had, and we took some time to review it. Our Assistant Attorney General Yancey took the time to review it, and he laid out in a memo what our scope is over the organization, and that he does feel confident that that we've done everything right, and that they are under our umbrella. So now we just come to, I guess, making that final determination and laying out what we expect going forward from this organization, and hopefully we can alleviate some of the ongoing issues within the organization.
Yeah, thank you. Is Mr. Pond with us by chance?
Let me verify that Mr. Young is on the call. Yes, he is.
Very good. Appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us. I had a couple comments. Sanctioning bodies, we run one too, and sanctioning bodies are kind of, I think of them as public service entities. We don't get to choose who shows up. We have to find ways to work with those people, and it gets sideways at times if you aren't really careful about how you go about it. So I guess what we're looking for from outside sanctioning bodies is their ability to invite everybody in, train them on what they need, herd the cats. I mean, promoting is a tricky business, and overseeing promoters is tricky too. So I guess what I'm asking you to do is find a way to work with people. You have more in common with them than you have that separates you. I know you guys have gotten sideways, but you got to find a way to help them put on events, and it's tricky. What are your thoughts about all this?
I totally agree, and that's we've been trying to help and to have them to better understanding how to organize the events. And I totally agree with you, sir. And I think that's something we're gonna work together with the future promoters and to reach our vision and mission to actually to promote this sport as a whole. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Pond. It needs to be an open door. You don't get to choose who's promoting and who isn't.
I totally agree,
and
sir.
You got to lead them down the path. And it's at times no fun. You know, at times there are people who just can't follow direction too, and so you have to deal with that. But you're a smart guy. You do a solid job, I think, and I think you can do this. So I just wanted to kind of have that chat with you. Something else I want to talk about is. Your national championship has been canceled. Will you speak to that for a bit?
Yes, sir. Because of the inflation, we received the feedbacks from the previous attendees, and because of the inflation and rate hiking and all that stuff, so we only have about less than 30 athletes registered from the data received from promoter. So that's why they're deciding to cancel this year's event. So that's why, yeah.
Okay, well, that's a shame. I hate to see that happen.
Yeah.
Commissioner Feinstein, any thoughts or questions?
No, I have a thought, which is simply that these sort of internal struggles don't reflect well on the sport or the community, and there has to be a supportive environment for all people to put on events, as long as they're following the rules and regulations that are set down by the state. If you're in a position of authority, then it's your job to help people put on events, as long as they are falling within the rules and regulations of the commission and certainly of your organization. And so I think it's a great sport, and I would love to see it grow. So I think you know, sort of burying the hatchet and figuring out how you can work together would be critical. Are you referring to the national championship that was supposed to be on December 3rd and 4th? That's canceled?
No, sir. It's actually from another promoter on the October 8th.
Okay. Excellent. Okay.
Thank you, Commissioner. I agree completely. Sanctioning body sounds glamorous, but there are many times when it's not, and it's a lot of work. And so it's time to get the work done. Yeah, and keep everybody moving. Additionally, as we go forward, transparency is going to be really important. Keeping Mr. Vela in the loop as to what's happening there too is going to be critical. But it's got to be all inclusive. It's got to be everybody involved in SANDA has a chance if they want to. And some people, after they try promoting, select themselves out of it too. It's tricky. It can be expensive. It's a tough way to make a living. You really have to love these sports to even think about doing it. I know you do. And I think going forward, you can be inclusive and do everything you can to help people. If it gets sideways, we need to know about it though too. Okay.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Okay. Mr. Vela, thoughts?
You're on mute.
Did we lose? Okay. Mr. Vela, are you with us?
I was on mute. So what I was saying is that my thoughts are just that, you know, going forward, I'd like to see how we will resolve these issues, Mr. Peng, with this other organization, because obviously they'd like to host an event this year. You've stripped them of that opportunity this year. What kind of resolution can we expect from your organization with this particular situation?
Do you need an answer now, or that's a suggestion? Or like I talked with the Phoenix Wushu Academy previously, I really encourage them to actually reach out to learn how to organize the event, and I love to help them to organize that and actually make sure they know every single step what they're gonna do. For example, at least let me know how many volunteers you're gonna have on the event, who is doing what, things like these. So if they can have like a complete event laid out, and also the staff and all these things step by step procedure wise, I think there's still a very good chance they got host their events. Yeah.
Okay, and do you see as though, like, with regard to this year, obviously you haven't had, correct me if I'm wrong, you haven't had any SANDA events this year, right?
No, sir.
Okay, so perhaps this year, I know their event that they're wanting to host is in December. Is there any way that that you as the sanctioning body would be willing to work with them to host that event, and as you said, assist them with ensuring that the proper regulations are followed to kind of get them back into compliance?
I think that would be a topic I need to bring back to my committee, the board meeting. We're going to discuss that. Yeah.
Okay, that's understandable. It's just, you know, a suggestion to kind of help you to host SANDA events. As you said, you haven't had one this year, and perhaps you could work together and maybe resolve some of the internal issues.
Understand. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Thank you both. Thank you, Mr. Pon, as well. Let's find a way as best we can to help these people put this event on in December if you can. I know it's a short time. I promise I'll be out to see it, and we'll throw our arms around this thing and make sure SANDA is what it can be here in the state. I think you're the right guy, Mr. Pon. We just got to figure out how how to get better at this sanctioning thing. It's not always a wonderful thing, but we appreciate your time, and we'll continue to talk about this. Commissioner, is there anything else you'd like to say?
No, I would just say that as you move forward, if there are obstacles that you can't get past working with each other, I would offer up Mr. Vela, the commissioner, the other commissioners as a group of people that might be able to just sit at the table and help you work through some of this so that we can move these events forward.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Mr. Bond, Mr. Vela. I think we have completed our review of Arizona SANDA for at least this period of time. Thank you all for your time.
It looks like, Mr.
Yes.
Chairman, it looks like Jane Ho has her hand up to speak.
Thank you, Commissioner. Mr. Vela, can you get Ms. Ho in?
Yeah, I need to talk.
Yes, sir. So I'm just gonna ask Yancey if he's on with us. Sir, is it permissible for members of the public to speak at this time, or do they have to wait till the call to the public?
I need to talk.
Well, I think since this is a continuation of the issue from the last meeting, which was the complaints from Ms. Ho, among others, I think she can speak at this time, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. So, Ms. Ho, we can give you 5 minutes.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time for looking into our case. And since Mr. Pan says that he's willing to work with us, I think that there needs to be a deadline on this because it's already been dragged on for many, many months. And like you said, promoters need to love the sport, and we love the sport, and we want to continue our event. But at this point, it's just been dragging on for months and months. If we don't get promoting soon and we don't have a solid answer on our sanction, then it's actually very, very hard for us to continue. And I'm sure Mr. Pan, it's not intentional on his end to delay us, but it seems like it. It's like if he doesn't give us a solid answer, I think it's very, very hard for us to continue as promoters. And what he's been saying about the volunteers and everything, we have an entire department dedicated to listing out departments for our volunteers. We have volunteers for our SANDA tournament, everything. We have it listed out. All he needs to do is communicate and ask us, and we're willing to send it. I don't think that there's any issues that he's been listing about us not following the rules. We've been working with him. We have emails of us trying to work with him. It's everything. We're trying our best. And I hope that he can try his best to work with us and to actually give us a solid answer, because if we keep delaying it, we're only 2 months away from our event. And I'm afraid our sport, like you guys have said, there hasn't been an event for our fighters or for anyone in the sport for the whole entire year. So we want to get this done as soon as possible. And I believe our director, Ms. Bonnie, and has something to say as well. Would she be allowed to say something?
Yeah, I want to say something.
Ms. Ho, does that conclude your statement there, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay. With Ms. Fu, 5 minutes, please.
Yes, dear Commissioner, dear Executive Director, dear Chairman. So thank you so much for taking this time, for us to just let us to explain everything and have this chance. At least we see you guys are trying to help your best to help us with this sanction. But like Ms. Ho said, time right now for us is really, really tight. We only have 2 months left, and then a lot of athletes from Mexico, from overseas, they are trying to come and asking us when is the sanction ready, because they need to get their visa and they need to book the tickets, hotels in order for them to come. If Arizona SANDA Association, he doesn't give us a definite answer today, so it keeps dragging, and then we have to wait for the next month's meeting. It won't have enough time. And in here, we have our Chinese cultural engagement. The president here, Mr. Dragon Sam, he would like to say a few words representing our community, our Chinese community, of how he sees this thing. May I let him to say a few words? Thank you.
Yes, please, go ahead.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. I'm Sam Sito, known as Dragon Sam. I do government relation and community outreach. I've been helping Phoenix SANDA for many years, help them build the headquarters, help them promote the sport. And I've been working with Panyan, both Wei and Bonnie. I talked to both parties, and I was attended to the tournament, and everybody told me how successful this tournament is. And this year, I really got disappointed. So I want to talk to Panyan and Bonnie, see what's going on. It really embarrassing the Chinese community. So I try to step forward. And as a community, I see this event, when everybody says how successful, and there's no complaint, there's no injury. When the major thing, when you're promoting sport, the first thing is injury. Of course, that's the first annual, and they did so great. And of course, there may be minor issues, but they must come forward and sit down in a round table or something, discuss those minor issues. And I review everything. I've been dealing with martial art, karate for many, many years. We are national champions. And as a Chinese community, and I do Asian culture engagement. In fact, I have an event coming on Sunday, and Phoenix Wushu is performing. We got a lot of officials involved, and I deal with government relations in every level of community in all Asian community. And we find this event is so great, and there's no complaint, there's no injury. So I don't know why, as a commission, as a sport promoter, they don't take this into an issue and based on SANDA sanction, because the karate and Shotokan, they don't even have it, or Taekwondo, and why the Chinese have this sanction. That's first question I don't even understand. That's why I don't worry about the sanction, because everybody have rules and regulation. But as a sport promoter, and everybody must look at those minor issues. Everything cannot be perfectly, but they done it like 99% perfect. That's what I see. I talked to Jeff Renniger, all the legislator, JD Massner. They're good friends, and we try to get this thing as smooth as possible. And I really appreciate if everybody step forward, move this event, because this event is not a lot of people can promote it. See, even the SANDA, they try to promote it and they cancel because they don't have ability. And these people, they proven they have ability. So when they have ability, if they're a minor issue, I really want them to step forward and solve this issue for the community, for the boxing, for the sports, for the love, for the community. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for everyone.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. We would like, if it's possible, yes, Commissioner, I would like to see if we get a definite answer like today, right now, so that we can move forward, because we cannot keep dragging and dragging on these things. It's so unfair for the athletes who's from overseas, who's from Mexico, who's from Nigeria, who's from Bermuda. They are waiting to come. So for us, it's like, it's unfair for them, because as it gets closer, even if we can get the sanction back, the plane ticket will be so expensive, the hotel will be so expensive, and they also need to plan to do the blood work, they for all the physical exams, like a couple days before the event starts. So it's more days of accommodations. They need to book the hotel. So please help us to get the answer today. It's really, really important to me. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Can I ask one question? What is the date of this event that you hope to have?
December 3rd and 4th.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate your points. Mr. Pond, I think we've got plenty of time to get this done. We approve events at our end a month out and get them done without any trouble. I'm concerned about you wanting to go back to your committee and discuss whether this can be done. I think they make valid points about being short on time, airplane tickets, all of that.
Yes, sir.
Our only recourse is to retract your license, and that's not something we want to do. I think you're capable at this, but this is a chance to show us that you can do this and that they can do this, and you guys can come together. I mean, everybody loves SANDA in your community. I feel like it should be easy to sort out, but taking a few more weeks to think about this, it can't go that way. I think you've got to get on this and push forward. That's just my take. Commissioner Feinstein, any thoughts?
Yeah, I share your concern that for a December 3rd event, given the amount of planning, I think this needs to be adjudicated. And if there's some significant barrier to you being able to work with and support the organization to put that event on, I think you should tell us now, because I agree that trying to kick this can down the road is going to be detrimental.
Thank you, Commissioner. Mr. Pond, how do you feel about this? Is this doable, or are we barking up the wrong tree right now?
So I don't know. And also I would like to respond to some of the comments from the other party. For first, I don't know how Mr. Dragon Sam got that 99.9% of successful rate. I don't know the number because we were there. We did receive a lot of complaints from the participants. And also, I totally agree with Mr. Sam that if we want to promote this sports, we need the legislators' help. And also, there's a lot of legislation and law involved why the karate is not being sanctioned by a certain party, and they can do that, but SANDA is. I think that's another topic, but definitely Mr. Sam can reach out to the legislator to learn more about that. And also for Miss Jane Ho's point, first of all, we've been working with them previously. They promised your sky, your world. You promise everything, but they don't really follow. And I don't have any enforcement to actually do anything. Just like the letter I sent to the commission, when they don't have something, they say, oh, we're sorry. And when they're not doing that, they're saying that's some misunderstanding or miscommunication, but the damage already made. So that's our concern. Sure, they can promise everything, but when they're actually having the event, they just don't do it. What can I do? I'm not the government agency. I can't really pull police to the event saying, okay, shut it down. I can't do that. I don't have that authority anyway. So that's some concern. I really need to talk to my board members to discuss it. I understand, and both of the commissioners has a really good point of the timeline and the events. I actually want this event to happen, but the thing is, I have my doubts of them to, because I've been deceived so many times, not only on the police, on the volunteers. Yeah, they said they have the whole department, but back to the event, there was no volunteer over there. I have the proof. I already submitted all my evidence. That's what they did. So how can we, solve that? That's something I need to have at least a plan to ensure things don't happen, and then I can come back to say, okay, under certain condition, maybe we can have this work. But today, I can't really give an answer. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Pond. Yes, Mr. Bell.
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to say, so we can either get a direct answer from Mr. Pang, but this is not the venue really for them to be going back and forth. I think that it'd be appropriate to, if we're going to make a decision, let's make it on what we expect from Mr. Pang to resolve this, and then go from there.
Fair enough. I think we need an answer sooner rather than later. I can take it in writing if need be, but my druthers are some kind of answer this week. It's Wednesday. Can we have an answer by Friday as to where, when, and how you're going to do this or not do it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is that a yes, Mr. Pond? You're going to get us a written response as to how you're going to put this event on, or if you're unable to?
I will give a answer by Friday. Either we can do it or we cannot do it.
Okay.
Thank
you. Commissioner Feinstein, are you okay with that?
Yeah, I am okay with that. My expectation is that these two parties, which seem to have significant disagreements in the past, will work together to come up with a plan to move this event forward by Friday. I expect that there will be some, it sounds like there are some concerns about key deliverables in order to feel like they can be sanctioned. I expect those to be reasonable and within the confines of the regulations that are set up by the state and by the SANDA Association. And I expect the event organizers to be able to respond to that within that short time frame, and that you would work together to agree that we could get this event moving forward by Friday.
Thank you, Commissioner. Mr. Pond, some people sanctioning isn't their bailiwick. It's not what they want to do. Maybe you don't want to do this, and it would be important to know that by Friday too. Maybe you're a SANDA promoter and not a sanctioning body, but we need to know where you stand in all regards by Friday, please.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah.
Mr. Vella, are you okay with this?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. I think we've done our part.
Okay, fair enough. And Mr. Yancey, thank you so much for your help with all this too. It's been really critical. Your piece was absolutely helpful. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Let's head into D, our information reports. D1, our event reports. The following events were paid and approved by the Executive Director from August 25th, 2022 to September 20th, 2022. The first is a request from Mochi LLC for approval of an MMA event to be held at Stratus Event Center in Phoenix, Arizona on Friday, October 14th, 2022. The second is a request from Holden Boxing LLC for approval of a boxing event to be held at the Gila River Arena in Glendale, Arizona on October 29th, 2022. The third is a request from Freedom Fight Night for approval of an MMA event to be held at the Arizona Financial Theater in Phoenix, Arizona on Friday, November 4th, 2022. The fourth, a request from Del Sol Boxing for approval of a boxing event to be held at the Glendale Civic Center in Glendale, Arizona on November 12th, 2022. And the fifth is a request from Iron Boy Boxing for approval of a boxing event to be held at the Celebrity Theater in Phoenix, Arizona on November 18th, 2022. So there's 5 more. A lot of good things brewing. So more to come. Mr. Vella, can we head to call to the public? Is there anyone who'd like to chat with us?
Yes, sir. I don't see anyone looking to speak. I'm sorry. I see Ms. Fu's hand up. Yancey, just to loop you in on this, since we've already reviewed that, is it appropriate to continue that and call to the public?
The call to the public can cover anything, so I think that's fine, yes.
Okay. Ms. Fu, 5 minutes.
Sorry, Miss Fu's she's right there. Hold on, give me 1 second. Miss Fu, they're calling on you.
Yes, I'm here.
Did you just have your hand up from previous?
Yes.
Let me say something. Yeah, I appreciate. I hear both sides. I really love the commissioner and all the boxing body and everybody idea to promote this sport. And I talked to Panyan personally. Everybody, I say 99% because I've been like sarcastic. It's like we cannot be perfect. So I see this event is almost perfect. There's no injury. Everybody love it. Everybody want to come. Okay, because anything, those minor issues, I've learned Panyan really looked with them directly. So instead, it's like picking on those minor things and keep, saying certain things. And all the commissioner, everybody's right on the point. The way we want to promote this is like people want to come back. This excitement. We put what they say over 2,000 people over here and people all over the world. I was there. Witnessed it. And I get very excited. That's why I say 99%, maybe 95, 98, but anything over 90 is an A+ to me. So Mr. Panyan, don't hold too much technical, even on my words or the SANDA, okay? Let's work together, make the community feel proud. Thank you, Commissioner. I really love you guys, everybody's point of view. So the sport and the community looking forward to this event. I really appreciate it if everybody come together, use our heart and integrate our difference, okay? To make, so we don't try to always make the perfect, that's why there's no 100%. So I say 90%, 99% is all A's. I feel this event going to be making the community come together, making the sport, making everything impacted to everything. Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, for all your help. Yes, this is just so important. It's just not only about us. It's about the community of the SANDA. It's about the athletes. They need to fight. So for the whole year, they haven't been fighting, not even one match. So for us, it's like, it's our responsibility as a promoter to keep pushing, to keep improving, to keep this sports going. Like, but thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I look forward to December 3rd and 4th. I'll be out there. Maybe Commissioner Feinstein will join me out there. But
Wow,
I'd like to see this happen. I'm going to have to ask you, both parties are going to have to learn to play together. So good luck with that. Look forward to seeing what you have to say on Friday,
Yes,
Mr. Pond,
we will
too.
try our best. We promise we will try our best. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Vela, anybody else?
Yes, sir. Mr. Yang Peng also has his hand up. 5 minutes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Please.
Well, Sam, thank you for clarification. What I meant is I just use, maybe I'm a little bit technical because as a sanctioning body, that's a lot of responsibilities. And also for the medical team part, that's something really scared me. 15 minutes early, they just let the whole medical team, not the whole medical team, but the actual paramedic unit leave. And what happens if someone injured on the latex? Everybody will get sued. So that's why, just like Commissioner mentioned, as a sanctioning body, there's a lot of things on the shoulder, and I have to be precise or technical. Okay, and also that's something. That's why I was really helpless at the time when I figured, oh, the medical team was gone. What can I do? And the promoter just felt like I can't even find the promoter actually on the site. So that's the thing. I'm so worried, and they don't really take this seriously by hosting a SANDA event. It's combat sport. It's not just Taolu or performing arts. Okay, and also to Miss Bonnie Fu, there's actually a biggest event in the nation in Texas. So the fighters already fought. That's another reason this year the October 1 promoter canceled that event, because a lot of fighters fight in Texas already. So they don't, and that one was actually the team trial. So they don't see to spend extra money to flew to Arizona for another fights. Yeah. So anyhow, and Commissioner, I understand your point. Definitely, I am more willing to work with them. But as I said, there was a lot of things we need to sort out, and how they can ensure the quality of the event, instead of just saying we promise this, we promise that, and when the event is actually going and things are not there. Thank you, sir.
Fair enough, Mr. Pond. I appreciate it. Sanctioning it's tricky. You have to demand certain things, but you have to make sure those demands are given to them in a timely fashion, so they have the time to meet your demands too. So it's a two-way street. But again, I appreciate your thoughts and look forward to what you send us our way on Friday. Mr. Vela, what else do you have for us? Anybody else?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. So Ms. Ho is online as well. I'm just going to request that Ms. Ho can keep it related to something new. I know they've been going back and forth a lot. We've heard a lot of the same statements over and over. So Ms. Ho, 5 minutes, please, if you've got something new to present, or if this is something that is going to substantive. Thank you. You're muted, Ms. Ho.
All right, so I just want to say thank you, Mr. Vela. The whole ambulance leaving that Mr. Pan has stated, I don't know where he got that from. Honestly, we have proof, and I've submitted it already, that our ambulance was there for the whole entire time. You see, so I have proof of all these things that I've already submitted before, and I don't believe that, accusing us of these things can help the situation. And like my team has said already, we're willing to work it out. And we have, you know, we have paramedics, we have doctors on site, we do have that. And there's no proof of us not doing that, and just by stating it like that, it cannot be an excuse to drag this on. And I completely agree with the commissioner. If there are any things that he wants us to do, he needs to write it out. He needs to have rules for us to see so that we can follow. And honestly, we've been trying to work with him the whole entire time. He's hosted tournaments in the past before where kids have gotten hurt on the late high because he didn't clean it and all that stuff. And as a judge there at his tournament, we helped. We tried our best to help. We tried our best to make that situation better. There's even like a video online. If you search it up, I can send it to you guys. Our whole entire judging panel had to go up on his tournament's late high for 10 minutes to search for things that something poked a child's foot and like he bled everywhere on the late high. And those are things that happened at his tournament. And did we report him on it? No, because why? We're trying to make the sport grow, right? We're trying to overlook these things that, like, okay, there might be a mistake here and there, but hey, we're trying to work together to make this happen. For my tournament, there was no injuries. Nothing happened. We had the ambulance the whole entire time. So I don't understand why he's being so particular and biased against this tournament. There are no serious like he says, consequences that happened for our tournament. So I'm not understanding what the holdup is. And I really hope that, like you guys said, within these 2 days, he can, I mean, it's best if it's today, but like within these 2 days, he actually gives us an answer. And I don't see why there should be an answer of no to why we cannot host this tournament. So that's something that I just want to put in, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. We appreciate your thoughts. Mr. Bella, anybody else?
Mr. Chairman, there appears there are no other parties looking to speak with us.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Bella. That pushes us to F, call to the commission. Commission members or the executive director may introduce a summary of current events, ask questions, and or make comments. Mr. Bella, Commissioner Feinstein, anything you'd like to talk about?
No, not for me.
Thank you, Commissioner. Mr. Vella, anything else?
Nothing for me, Mr. Chairman. Just looking forward to the rest of the year. We do have a lot of great events coming up. So, as always, you know, grateful and happy to see all of our sports doing so well.
Thank you, Mr. Vella, and thank you for all your efforts and keeping the ship pointed in the right direction. We do have good things coming. I did have one question. Yancey, are you still with us? How do I pronounce your last name?
Jen Sock.
Jen Sock. I'm glad I asked. I didn't want to ruin it, so I thought I'd ask before I did so. Thank you, and thank you for all your efforts. The piece you gave us was really helpful.
You're welcome.
That concludes call to the commission. Pushes me to G, the announcement that the next regularly scheduled commission meeting will be held at 11 a.m. on Wednesday, October 19th, 2022. And is subject to change based on a quorum. Which gets us to H, the possibility of adjournment. Is there a motion for adjournment?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Thank you, Commissioner. I'm going to second that motion. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Commissioner, thank you for being here with us. Everyone else, thank you for your efforts. More to come. Everybody take care. Bye-bye.